Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into my spoiler review for the Marvels, also known as Captain Marvel 2. And there is so much to go through. I don't think that this video is going to be quite as detailed and edited as past reviews, simply because we also have to do a Loki review on the same day, because they are both wrapping up and coming out on the same day, so there's a lot to do here. If you're unfamiliar with how these videos work, we do non-spoilers, spoilers, and different topics. You can find them down below. And then Lego Talk, talking about how the Lego sets did and what I would love to see them do in the future. And then go on in to non-spoilers. I genuinely went into this with probably low expectations just from some of the reception that I had heard online, and just, I don't know, I just wasn't really feeling it. I don't know, I saw some of the trailers and clips. I was like, oh, this is actually really cool. I watched one clip, the clip of them fighting and different things and teleporting back and forth. I really enjoyed that. I think the thing that I came out of this with was, wow, that was like legitimately a lot of fun. It was insane, and I won't go into detail until spoilers, but like, I kind of just sat there just baffled. Like, there's a line of, I'm feeling so many emotions right now, that I felt multiple times throughout this movie. It was pretty crazy. And then of course we got sort of follow-ups to everyone. I think that they did a great job just directly following up with the first Captain Marvel film and everything she's been up to since then that we haven't seen. Sort of felt like a continuation specifically for Miss Marvel. That was really great from the show. If you haven't seen the review for that, definitely check that out. And then also with Monica from WandaVision. I feel like genuinely, I think that you don't necessarily have to watch those shows. I think you will have a greater appreciation for it. But specifically with like Miss Marvel, since she's a new character to people who have only watched the movies, because Monica was in the other one, I think that they do a like genuinely a good job of just, getting to know her quickly and what she's about. I think they did a great job with that. Nick Fury, on the other hand, though, he was phenomenal in this, but oh my goodness, is Secret Invasion just a pile of heaping garbage, like in comparison to everything that we got in here. And just what he does here, it's just like, what happened? Like genuinely, what happened? Also, I think that like this reminds me of the old Marvel movies where it just feels so connected, where you're getting all of these interwoven stories, people meeting up for the, like, it reminded me of that. It was just fun. It was a good time. I don't know how else to put that. Like, I genuinely had a lot of fun. So let's go into spoilers. I want to, I guess, let's talk about Nick Fury. He kicked off, it was Nick Fury's big week. He brought the Avengers together and all that stuff, right? So I want to talk about him first. And what I was just talking about was Secret Invasion. When first of all, I feel like the characterization of the two of them in comparison to old grumpy man who does nothing, who is weak, and they say all these things, to this where he's just so cool, he's so funny. This is the Nick Fury that I love. He was just, it's like night and day. It really is. I love everything that they're doing out in space with Saber. Like genuinely, all of that I was there for. Like, he was awesome. I remember that when I talked about the clip before of when they were teleporting and different things. And then some comments were like, "Oh, look at him. He's just sitting there. That's not the Nick Fury I know." Watch the movie first, cuz you see that, oh, he's literally on this like transport. And then all of a sudden, Kree are there. So yeah, he is just sitting there cuz, oh my goodness, people like that, they just push a button. But genuinely, I thought he was funny. I thought he was just like really cool. Like that whole fight, and then just his little moment, his little smile, like teaming up with Kamala, that was great. And everything with the cons as well were so fun. Like, he was just the Nick Fury that I have loved for over a decade. Like, just perfect. In terms of like comparing that to Secret Invasion and even the stuff with the Skrulls, what the heck? I don't vividly remember Secret Invasion because it genuinely was so forgettable. But I'm so confused by like they literally have a colony out in space. They have this huge established place. So doesn't that just, now they don't, right? But doesn't that just undo literally everything that was talked about and done in Secret Invasion? Why weren't all those Skrulls just relocated there? Like, that's just so dumb. You wasted such an important title. Secret Invasion is such a beloved title and story arc, and you genuinely wasted it. Wasted it. Anyways, loved everything that we got to see with the Skrulls and the Kree. Like to see that tension, hearing a bit more about that, seeing the impact. I guess this is leading into Captain Marvel now. Seeing the impact of what she did after Captain Marvel, I think was really interesting. Just going back to the Kree planet and destroying and killing the AI and everything there, and how that led to the planet's destruction, calling her the Annihilator, and the guilt that she carries with that, I think was quite interesting. I wasn't expecting that at all. I think that was a good twist, and sometimes they make, they might be thinking that they're doing the right thing, and in the end there's all these consequences. And yeah, I think that the only issue that I really had with her was, maybe it's just because I had just watched Age of Ultron, and there's the moment when they leave Skrulls behind on the planet. First of all, the planet didn't even get destroyed. The city didn't. There was just, it started to crumble. Okay, they didn't have to go, in my opinion. Okay, first of all, she didn't have to, specifically Carol. But in comparison to Age of Ultron with Sokovia, and Steve's the other captain is like, yeah, we're not leaving this rock until everyone's off of it. Or even before the helicarrier showed up, they're like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, specifically him and Natasha both agreed to that. And it's like, in comparison here, how are you leaving children and people behind for this mess that you just caused it? Steve didn't cause that. It's hard to compare, God's righteous man, as Ultron puts it, I think, to Carol, but maybe that is realistic. Maybe, sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes there are casualties. Maybe that's more realistic. I don't know. But that was sad. And especially for Kamala to see her hero sort of make, maybe, again, I don't know. I go back and forth with this. As I'm talking, I'm like, maybe she made the right call. You save who you can. But at the same time, she could have stayed behind. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. But I liked the dynamic that she had with Kamala, where she was looking up to her and then having to explain and sort of realize that she did this bad thing with the Kree and different things. That is her home planet in a way, So I think that was really great. Photon, I don't think they ever wound up saying that name, unless I'm forgetting. There's a lot I have to remember because of Loki as well that I've got to talk about. So, but I liked how they were trying to come up with the name throughout it. I think that was really fun. Even just her dynamic with Carol, I think, was really interesting too. And just getting the little bits of WandaVision, again, that was just thrown in here about, oh, her mom died from cancer, but then getting to see that flashback moment between when she was dusted, that, that she got to come back to Earth, have that, those moments with Maria, I think was really interesting to sort of fill in those gaps. But overall, the team dynamic of it, I thought it was funny. I thought they had a lot of heart. I genuinely believed their camaraderie. I think that, again, just Kamala is just absolutely the heart and soul of this movie. I think that she's just fantastic. Just everything about her meeting her idol, and those illustrations from the start, and just everything, and her family too. It was just, it's pure lightheartedness. I don't know how else to put that. It's just a lot of fun, and obviously I have so much more to say at the end about her, but I didn't like the suit. I will die on that hill. She had a perfect suit, and it's so sad that she didn't get to wear that. Hopefully in the future she goes back to that, because I really don't like this suit. from this movie. But I think Photons was cool, and I didn't like the second Captain Marvel one. But anyways, going back though to their powers and different things, and sort of, it was interesting to see that that is where the second band is. It's interesting to think about, well, the Ten Rings is also sort of kind of also involved from the show. So yeah, it's interesting. Also, she doesn't need the bangle to use her powers. That's interesting. I don't recall that happening in the show. But yeah, traveling through time and space, they talk about that from the show. You get to see that going to a different reality. That was really crazy too. But specifically their powers and just the choreography in this, in more ways than one, I mean, that was really great. Like, that was some of the coolest, like, just in concept, the idea of when the group of them, the three of them, when they use their powers at the same time, that they're teleporting and switching spots with the other person, but then their powers are still activated. Like, that must have been so fun to come up with conceptually, and coming up with the fights for that. Like, okay, if I blast this, Kamala's stretching over here or making this thing. Like, that's so, like, I love that. That was so much fun. Um, I really like that. The villain, I don't know, it was fine. Some people said, yeah, she's probably forgettable, but I didn't mind her motivations in terms of, she's worked her way up the ranks for the Kree, over all of these 30 years that she's been going up, and then took over as I'm pretty sure the Accuser. I believe that's her title too. But what exactly was Ronan doing? Just waging war, I guess, or I guess depleting their resources and different things like that. Yeah, I really just I liked her motivations. I just think that even the reveals, maybe that's what it is, the reveals along the way of why she hated, or why she was called the Annihilator and different things, and they can't even breathe on their planet now. Their sons died. Their water's gone. All these different things I thought was really interesting. And because they stretched themselves so thin from this war, yeah, great stuff. Like, I really enjoyed all that. But yeah, forgettable. She is actually Tom Hiddleston's wife, fiance. I'm not too sure. So big day for them. Choreography. Let's talk about that. The dancing. We'll just call this part the insanity that ensued, because the dancing, the singing. I remember there being reports that there was going to be a musical. That it was a musical, the whole thing. But yeah, that like they said, you're just feeling a lot of emotions. I hate it. I love it. I'm embarrassed by it. I don't know. Like, genuinely, like they said, there are so many emotions to that. I laugh. I think it's funny. I think one of the funniest jokes was probably oh, he's bilingual. That was just hilarious. Yeah, it was something else. It was genuinely just shocking and weird, and I love it. All of that. But the other thing that was, like, again, insanity, and I wish that they didn't include this in any of the trailers or the sets and different things, but the Fleur Kittens, oh my goodness, that was so funny. Like, imagine going into this movie not knowing about that, and then seeing all of these things and being like, what the heck is this? Like, that would have been, like, such a cute and funny reveal. Just an insane, like Guardians of the Galaxy level insanity, sort of just weirdness of, okay, now all the kittens, because they're so tiny, we've only got 2 escape pods, go swallow everyone on this space station, and then we're gonna all go there. Like, just how do you come up with these 2 concepts? Like, they're just insane. Like, just sitting there shocked. Like, again, just so many emotions. Like, oh my goodness, it was funny, it was great, stupid, but I don't even know. Anyways, leading into the future, I guess, what's gonna happen with Monica? She's over there on some X-Men world. It's obviously not the X-Men one from the Fox movies, since, Beast is CG and sort of Hulk-like, I guess is the best way to put that. And Binary, I think, is her name. Maria's code name there. It's kind of strange, like, why she was even... What was she just there for security, just sleeping there? I don't know. It was just interesting. But yeah, wish I hadn't had that spoiled. That was everywhere, like legitimately everywhere. I mean, they even put that, and also Valkyrie. I didn't talk about her because she was just briefly in it, but just they Black Adam'd it. They were like, oh, here's our post-credit stuff, and they put in the trailers of, well, there's the X-Men logo on the screen, and who's this person? Yeah, very interesting. Again, everyone was openly talking about how Kelsey Grammer's back as Beast, which I'm all here for. Recent Deadpool 3 rumors of like what the plot is there. I'm all here for Kelsey Grammer coming back as Beast. I think that's great. But yeah, I'm very excited to see. And they name dropped Charles as well. So I'm absolutely all here for anything X-Men related. I think that if they, for however they do it, right? However they do the X-Men, if they bring back the old cast and it's this other universe where they're all wearing comic book suits and it's written by Marvel Studios, not, everything that they did over there on Fox, and it's like actually more comic based and different things, I think it could be really, really cool to see everyone back in actual colorful costumes in a good story. That'd be amazing. Like, genuinely. I'd love that so much. But my favorite scene, by far, love Beast and everything, but the best scene was what should have been the post-credit scene, the last final scene of the movie. Why wasn't that the post-credit scene? First, because I'll say it in a second, but that blew my mind. First of all, when I saw the bow, I was like, who the heck is this? And then I saw Lucky, I was like, oh my goodness, this is great. And then I saw the shadow, and I realized and then she started to say the thing, and I was crying. I was in tears. I was laughing so much. Just the layers of, oh my goodness, I can't even, like, Iman Vellani, she's just such a fan of the MCU and Marvel. The fact that she is Nick Furying it, she's saying all of these lines, she's assembling the team. What an insane, like, imagine telling that to her younger self that, hey, you're going to be cast as Ms. Marvel, and then you're going to be recruiting a team, and you're going to be saying these iconic lines that just built the MCU to where it is today. Oh my goodness. So cool. Like, I genuinely, that was my favorite scene by far. Really great. So funny. Cannot wait to see, she talked about Ant-Man's daughter. Like, just, yes. Just more of that. That was great. Just so many levels of that. And again, the biggest complaint that I have for this movie is not, oh, the villain, blah, blah, blah. It's the fact that wasn't the post-credit scene, because it would have been so cool. It was the post-credit scene with Iron Man. Why wouldn't you make that the post-credit scene here? Ugh, that's so stupid. But anyways, thoroughly, like, highlight of the movie. Lego talk. The Hoopty got so much play. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, if you compare that to, like, the Bowie from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I think there was probably more screen time and scenes on and in and functionality with the Hoopty than there was with the Bowie, which is crazy to say if you don't consider maybe the special. But what's interesting about the actual set is it's, again, not a bad set. I think that it's probably longer, but again, it was based off of concept art. It was probably a little longer than it should have been. I think it was a little taller in the movie, but it was cool. I don't think he knew about, like, the landing gear and how it rotated to stand and, like, the bridge and different things. Like, it would be cool to see a model now that's not based off of concept art. But again, you can't, when you're doing sets and different things, that happens sometimes. But overall, like, all the stuff that was included in terms of all three of the characters, I'm glad we got the better suit for Captain Marvel. But I want to do this video talking about, Lego really, when it comes to the villains, they really just hate them with Marvel. Like, they just don't include the main villains. As non-exciting as she was, it's still, for the price as well, it could have really used that fourth figure. cool to have the Fleur kittens and as well as Goose there too. But maybe Nick Fury or someone else. Just again, it's so expensive, but it's genuinely not a. It's a good set. Like it genuinely is. It's a big play set. Really, there's so much in the movie where it's on the interior, and because this set's so big, you could reenact it like the interior. So really, like genuinely good set, just horrible price. But yeah, in terms of other things that I would want to see, I want Saber so badly. Like that whole station was so darn cool. I'll take like just put them in more movies. I think that's what I want to see. More movies and show just stuff of whatever Nick Fury's doing. Please, like actual Nick Fury, this Nick Fury. I think it would be really cool. If it just continues to pop up, and then one day Lego's like, oh, here's a multiverse saga Saber station. Please, that would be so cool. I really would love that. But yeah, overall, I genuinely enjoyed the movie. I didn't expect to come out of it enjoying it as much as I did, but again, maybe a big part of that's because of Ms. Marvel, I think for sure. But what did you think of the movie? What did you think of the set? Do you have any ideas for things that you'd like to see them do from this? But and like I said earlier, like there's gonna be a Loki review dropping too today, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to check out past reviews or review of the set, I'll link that here on the screen. But hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.